Hello everyone and welcome to lesson number 18. Today we will make a small break from the theory, but we will still implement many things that we have learned so far. We will create a program that will interact with the user. The program will ask from the user to write some numbers on the console and will determine if this number is a prime number or an even number. To do that, we will use the methods of another class. Until now, you should have a good idea of what a class is in Java. Many developers have written some code and created classes and methods inside these classes. Then they have put these classes in virtual libraries, and everyone can access them. Doing that, we save much time, because we use some methods which do exactly what we want them to do just by calling them, and we don't have to rewrite the code ourselves. We will come back and discuss more about libraries in Java in a future lesson. For this one, just follow my steps and I will try to explain every step I do. But given that we have already learned some stuff like classes, methods, and how to implement them, you will understand many things, and that's why I used the opportunity to make this program at our 18th lesson and not at our second, third, or fourth lesson like many other people do. So first of all, open up your Eclipse program and create a new project. And let's name it lesson 18. Then you can open it, create a package like we always use, well, like we always do. Let's name it lesson 18. And inside this package, create our main class. You can also use this public static void main. So, first of all, we will add our scanner. We will add this extra class from the library. To do that, you write scanner and then the name of the variable, let's call it scanner, and then new scanner, and inside the parentheses we use the system in. So Eclipse tell us here is not happy about it and tell us that scanner cannot be resolved to type, but we have 7 quick fixes here, and we will choose the first one: import scanner Java util. What we did do is that, as I told you before, there are many classes and methods inside some libraries, and by using the keyword import here, we call these classes. We open up these libraries, we search for the classes we want and for the methods that we want, and we use them. And Eclipse did that automatically for us. So next, we will create a variable, an integer, and we will name it stopper. This will be our stopper, and we'll have the value of 0, and it is a variable to stop the program. Then we will create another variable, another integer, and we will name it input. This will be the input from our user, and that's why we don't specify any value, because it will take the value that the user will give it to. After that, we will create a loop. We will create a while loop, and we learned about while loops, and we will say while true, and true, as we said before, is always true. Then our program will start working, and by doing that, the program should tell us, should print a message to us, to the user. So what would that message be? Let me think. Let's name it, for example, write down a number you want to determine whether, or write down a number, or please give a number, please write a number, like that. So after that we have a variable, the input variable, and we want that this input variable stores inside it what the user gives. And to do that, we use our scanner, a method from our scanner, and this method is called nextInt. So we will call our object, the instance of the class scanner, and we will see here that this class, this instance has really many methods here that we can use. And as we said before, someone wrote this class, someone wrote these methods, and you can use all of these methods without need to rewrite them. So we will take the nextInt method, and we don't need to know what how the code is. We just go to the libraries. I will put a link below to the description. We can read what this method does, and if we like it, we can use it. So this method, so I can do a recap. This method here, the nextInt, is the number that the user writes in the console, and then we store this number inside our variable, our input variable, which is at the moment empty. After that, we will check if the input is the same as the stopper. If the input is the same as the stopper, and then if that is correct, then we will break out of the program. So if the input that we give has the value of 0, then we will break out of the program, so that we don't have an infinite program. This will be our way out. So remember that when you write a while loop, you should always give a way out. If you don't do that, then this loop would run forever, because true would always be true. So after that, let's see our goal. We want to determine whether a number is a prime number or an even number. What are prime numbers? What do they have in common? If we divide them with 2, what remains is always 1, the number 1. If an even number is divided with 2, then you get 0. So if you think about it, we did learn some tricks to make our life now easier. And now we can write our code. We can write our algorithm to find the prime and the even numbers. And let's put it really simple. If the input, the number that the user writes, and then we will use the remainder. I hope that you remember this this operator in Java. has the value of 1. So what do we say here? We say that we take the input from the user. So let's say that the user gives the input of 5. Then we divide this number with 2, and if what remains is the number 1, then we can say the number you wrote, and then we can say the number is a prime number. Else we will write the number and the input is an even number. And then let's make it sure to know that we are out of the program. Like that. Nope. Not here, but here. End of program. So this would be our code. Let's see again the last part, the prime and even numbers part. So we take the input from the user and we divide it with 2. If what remains is 1, because we speak about the remainder, then our number is a prime number. Else, if what remains isn't 1, then the number we have wrote, the number you wrote is an even number. So let's save it and let's run it. As you can see, we see the message, please write a number. So let's say the 5. Please write a number. And now we have a bug here. Let's try to find out what the bug is. Bugs is something that you will always have when you develop things. And let's see that our while method ends here, and this is something that we don't want to. So this is something that we need here, and then let's see. Now this should work fine. Let's save it and let's run it. Our number would be the 5. And the 5 you wrote, the number you wrote, the number, let's correct it. So now save. So please write a number, 5 for example. The number 5 is a prime number. Let's try something else, 4. The number 4 is an even number. Let's try the number 9. The number 9 is a prime number. Let's try 10. The number 10 is an even number. Let's try 11. The number 11 is a prime number. And let's try to exit the program. To exit the program, we write the 0, end of program. So as you can see, our program works like a charm, and we did have to find a bug in our code. Remember that when you write a code, you will come very often to some situations that your code doesn't work, and then you should really examine your code and find the bugs, find what doesn't work correctly, like we did here. And to do that, we will see in our future lessons that there are some tools to make your life easier, like a debugger, or like writing JUnit tests to check if your program works properly. But for now, just stick to the point that you will have to really examine your code and check if everything you wrote is right. So I hope that you enjoyed this lesson and that you learned much. At our next lesson we will continue with constructors and classes and make some more examples so that you can be more familiar with these terms, and that we can move on to some more difficult things in Java. So, thank you for being here today, and thank you all for watching.